Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to do a foot rig. So we need a couple of things. We need some IK handles and we need some controllers. So I'm going to put the controllers in first. Let's go and do some controller tricks. First thing is here, let's go over here and I'm going to create a polygon cube. Okay, and with the polygon cube, let's just isolate it. I'll just hit F. Now, this is kind of a good shape to use for a rig controller, I find, but we don't want geometry. We want just a curve. And if we make any of those other shapes inside of, like the CV curve tool or some of the NURB shapes, they just don't work quite correctly. I want a kind of a three-dimensional object that's easy to select. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over here to create. And I go to curve tools, I'm going to go to the EP curve tool. And in the EP curve tool, I'm going to put it to 1 linear. And what I'm going to do is let's just hold down 4. I'm going to hold down V on my keyboard. And so as I do this, it's going to be snapping to point. Now you can't actually see it because I'm on isolate select. And because of the nature of how the isolate select tool works, it's not going to let me see it even when I hit enter. And let's just check it out. We did create a curve. I'm just going to take them both. I'm going to turn off the isolate select. I'm going to put it back on again. And there's my polygon. There's my curve. I'm just going to go ahead and I'll hit 5 so you can see I've got a polygon selected. Boop. And I've just created this shape over top of it. If you want that shape to appear, use it over and over and over again, you might want it later on. I'm going to go into the script editor. And in the script editor, let's make this big. And where is it? It's right there. Whoop, that piece of information right here. Whoop, that is the information for where all these points were placed in 3D space. I'm just going to middle click and drag and drop it up here. I'm going to make that a MEL script. And I'm going to close it. And whenever let's delete this thing. Whenever I go and I hit that button now, it creates that shape for me. And it thinks that that cube is still here. Okay, let's make it bigger. I'm just going to go to my side view. And I'm just going to move this thing up here. Okay, nice and easy to select. Boop. It's going to pull that up a bit. Grab that, and I do believe the point's right there. Okay, I might pull that out further. I could maybe even hold down X and snap that to the grid. Snap that to the grid. Let's look at it in the front view. Still not in the right spot. Okay, let's go and do this. Notice I'm not dragging over any of the bones. I'm trying to be careful about that. If I drag over any of the bones, what's going to happen is it's going to select the bones and leave the curves alone. I'm just going to take this and I'll pull that out this way a little bit. And I could have created a more elaborate shape. Let's take a look at what it looks like right now. Something like that. Right around the whole foot. Easy, easy, easy to select. Okay, I'm just going to hide my geometry. Alt 2. Okay, my pivot point for this is sitting right over here. I'm just going to hold down D and V and I'm going to snap it. I middle click snapped it right there. Okay, I'm going to freeze the transformations and I'm going to delete the history. There is no history on it. And this is foot underscore control. CTRL. I like a nice short little thing like that. I can make a quick duplicate. I can hold down V, flip it over here, grab my scale tool. Because I've frozen this out, if I hold down J, boop, boop, flip inside out, -1 over here, I can freeze that. Okay, so there's my other foot control. Actually, oh, you bastard. I'm just going to go over and I'm going to make sure that's L underscore foot control. And this one here is R underscore foot control, and get rid of that one on the very end there. Great. Okay, so those are my foot controls. I kind of just did both at once just so I don't have to do a lot of extra stuff. I'm only going to do one in this video because it only makes sense. So I got the foot control, and what else do I need? I need some kind of knee control. So I'm going to go in here to the create tool, curve tools, and for the CV curve tool, just going to double check it's on 3 cubic, and I'll make something that looks like a knee control to me. I could be more elaborate, but something like that. I'm going to hit center pivot, and I'm going to move it over here. I'm just going to, when I move it, I'm going to snap it so it's in front of the knee. And I tend to like it, say right down here below the knee and out in front of the foot for sure. Okay, actually let's freeze that. And we'll call this one L underscore knee underscore control. Done. And if I want to make a duplicate, I can, actually let's just do it right now. I gotta watch out because I tend to make both things at the same time really quickly, and it's not the goal of the video, but I want to have them done later. I'll just take these two for now and I'm just going to hide them. Okay, so I got my foot control and I got my knee control. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into skeleton and I'm going to go here to the create IK handle tool. Okay, and in the IK handle tool I'm going to put on sticky. I'm going to go and create one from the hip down to the ankle. I clicked on the hip joint and then I clicked on the ankle joint. It automatically created it for me. I'm going to take the same create IK handle tool again. I'm going to click on the ankle and I'm going to go to the ball of the foot. Okay, ankle to the ball of the foot, and I'm going to do one more. I'm going to click on the ball of the foot and go to the toe. So I've got 3 IK handle tools. And remember, the first one is going from the hip down to the ankle. The second one is just going across one joint here, going from the ankle to the ball of the foot, and the other one's going ball of the foot to the toe. This is where I notice a common amount of people get confused on this issue. So I've got those IK handles. I'm just going to quickly name this ankle underscore IK. And this one here is ball underscore IK. And that one, oh you bastard. That one's toe underscore IK. Boom, done. Okay. Now, in order to kind of control this foot, we're going to do this. There's a thing called the reverse foot rig. And I'm going to do kind of a version of the reverse foot rig that simplifies the whole thing. Okay. What I want to be able to do first is I would like to be able to go up on the balls of my feet with my IK handle. So if I take the ankle IK and I group it, I'm going to go here to edit and I'm going to hit group. So group over here so I can move that IK handle around. Okay. And what I want to do is I want to move the pivot point over here, so I'm going to hold down D and V, middle click, pop over here. And now, when I grab this group here and I rotate it, it makes the ankle come up and leaves the ball of the foot there. Let's just check that out and see what it looks like when I have geometry on the scene. So I can do that. Okay. And here, let's undo that. So that's my first group. And I call that one, actually let's call this one heel underscore lift underscore group. Okay, heel lift group. Now the next thing I want to do is I want to be able to go up on the balls of my feet, or on the tippy toe of my foot. Okay, so actually before I do that, I'm going to make sure that I can make my toe wiggle. If I take the toe IK and I parent it to the ball IK, all I did was middle click drag and dropped it on there. Now when I take the ball IK and I do this, I can wiggle my toe. Okay, that's the toe wiggle. Now I'm going to go in, grab the heel lift group, grab the ball IK, and I'm going to group it. Control G is the hotkey. Let's just hide that. The pivot point sitting over here. I want that on the tip of the toe. DV, dunk, there. Actually, maybe I'll bring back in the geometry. And the tip of the toe should actually probably be like right down here. So DV, I'll pop it, say there. And let's just test it out. Whoop. Totally works. So now I can go up on the tippy toe of my shoe. Okay. Next thing I want to be able to do. I want to be able to put out my cigarettes. Okay, so to put out my cigarettes, I want to be able to rotate on the ball of my foot. This is also where I kind of shift my weight, when I'm changing how I stand. You don't usually do the tip of the toe, you do the balls of your feet. And actually I just realized something. I don't have this open, I didn't name this thing. This one here is going to be toe group. There we go. Now I'm going to make one on the balls of the feet. So I'm going to go Control G and group it. It keeps closing this freaking thing down. This group, I'm going to put it on the ball again. So earlier I was mentioning this is like a variation of the reverse foot rig. It's going from the ankle down to the toe and then back again. And that's how I'm setting up this whole hierarchy so I have ultimate control. This will be ball underscore swivel underscore group. Great. Something like that. Okay, so that means I can rotate my foot, or I can rotate on the balls of my foot. I can swivel on them. Okay, I'm going to make 2 more groups. I'm going to take this, I'm going to make, I have the ball swivel group selected, Control G, I'm going to put a pivot point in. Let's bring back the geometry again. And this one here is going to go into my heel, so I'm going to say right around there, BV, middle click, pop there. Okay, and so if I do this, you can see I can go up on the heel of my foot. Okay, I might actually pull this slightly forward. Looks better if there's a little bit of crash there for some reason, that's what I think. Okay, I'm going to hide my geometry again. Actually, that's the heel underscore group. And another group, Control G. This one is just going to go onto my ankle. And that's my whole foot group. Done. Foot group. So now when I hold down Shift, there's the whole hierarchy that we're looking at. Okay. So what time are we at? 12-minute mark. Okay. Now, to make all these controls work so that when I grab this controller here, everything follows along. First thing, the L foot control. I grab this first, and I hold down, if I hold down Control in the outliner, I can select the foot group. I'm going to go in here to constrain, and I'm going to put a parent constraint on. Now when I deselect things, when I grab this, that's going to move the foot group around, and it's going to move it like this when I move it with the move tool. Okay, so that's working. This thing here, the knee control, I want that to control the direction of my knee, right? So if I take this right now and I rotate it, it kind of follows, but it is going to go kind of wacky. I need to have a pull vector constraint. So I'm going to select the knee control first, select the IK handle for the ankle, and I'll go into constrain, I'll put in a pull vector constraint. And I'm also going to take this knee control and parent it to the foot control. Holy cow, I'm doing a lot of things. And now when I go and I right click and I move it, it's going to point in the same direction as the foot. So the knee typically will point in the same direction, and then if you want to change it afterwards, you can just kind of move it side to side if you want to do something extra with it. Holy cow. Okay. Now, I want to get to the set-driven keys. So I'll probably start with a simple one. Okay, so the simple one is, let's see, Control 2, bring this back. Yeah, Alt 2. Alt 2 is the hotkey to hide geometry and bring it back. I could probably use the layers here too if I wanted to. So let's go in here and I'll do a toe wiggle. I'll go in and I have this selected. I'm going to go to Modify and I'm going to go to Add Attribute. And I'll call this toe underscore wiggle. Okay, minimum, I always do -10, maximum 10, and a default of 0. I'm just going to hit add. Let's close that. So now I got this little attribute, 0 to 10 to -10. I'm really only going to use probably 0 to 10, but I'm going to put in the negative anyway, just because it's funny. So to make this work, what I want this to do is I want this to take the ball IK, I want it to control its X rotation here. Okay, and if I take the X rotation, I can do this. I'll do this a couple different ways. I have to flip over into animation under key, and there's set driven key set. I might even put this onto my shelf, right? Because if I'm rigging, I'll probably want to do this quite a bit. And so there, it's on my shelf now, so I can get to it, so I don't have to hunt it down. So the ball IK is here, and it's a rotate X. This is going to be my controller, my driver. So I'm going to load my driver, and there's toe wiggle. By the way, I don't know if anyone noticed, but when I typed this in to the add attribute, I did put an underscore in there, and it hid the underscore. The reason it did that is because this is something that's referred to as in the channels. Where the hell is it? Edit. Channel names. This is a nice name. Okay, this drove me nuts when I first found it. If I go to long, it'll show the underscore and it'll show what the real names are. Like notice some things aren't capitalized and things like that. I'm just going to go back and put it to nice, but I'm just going to explain that in case anyone's stuck on that. So the toe wiggle and the ball rotate, I've got them selected. They're at their default positions, which is 0 for the attribute, and there's also no rotations in that. I'm going to hit key. I'm going to take the toe wiggle. I'm going to go to value of 10. I'm going to take the ball IK. You can select it just by clicking on it here. And I'll do something like hold down, oh you bastard. I'm going to hold down J, and when I rotate it, it'll snap to like 15-degree increments. I'm going to use something, I'll go to something I'm not going to use. I doubt I'm going to hit this unless like I kick like some kind of concrete block or something like that. I'll probably, actually what if I even did? There, get total hinge toe. And I probably have to wait that, but whatever, key. And let's just check it out. Is it working? So when I go in the toe, when I go to 10, boop, 0 to 10, totally. I'll go to negative 10. I'm going to do the same thing. I'm just going to take this and I'll hold down J. Dook. 90 degrees. I'll never use that. Key it. And now I can just check it out. So yeah, so this is going to be the ballpark where I'm going to be at for the shoe. Right? Something like that with the toe. Not much. Let's zero that out. It's totally working. Okay, next one. So let's do something else. Let's do the most, let's see, do I want to do the most complicated one? Let's get the complicated one out of the way. So I did the toe wiggle, and now I'm going to grab this, and I'm going to go here to modify, and I'm going to go into add attribute, and we're going to do the foot roll. Underscore roll. Okay, minimum, negative 10. Maximum 10, and I'm going to hit OK. Default of 0. So this one, what I want to do is I want to make it so that when I go from 0 to 10, I want to have the heel lift off the ground and go up. And when it goes from 0 to negative 10, I want the heel to stay stuck on the ground and lift up the rest of the foot. Okay, so let's do it. I'm going to go over and let's see. This one here, I'm going to be using the heel lift group. And the heel lift group, I'm going to be using rotate X. Here's another way to the set driven key. When you have that highlighted, you can go set driven key up here. Edit set driven key. It's loaded into the set driven key. I'm going to take the foot controller and load that as the driver. And I'll go to foot roll. Okay, when I go and key this, I totally keyed it and locked them up. You can check out the heel lift group has got a little blue swatch beside it. When I go to the foot here, I'm going to go up to 10. And then I'm going to take the heel lift group and I'll just do something like if I hold down J and I rotate it, how about 60? Probably never use that full amount, but I'm going to go ahead and key it. So now when I check this out, when I go 0 to 10, we got this. Okay, let's go to 0. Do I have to type in 0? There we are. Okay, now I'm going to go and find the heel group, and I'm going to load that as the driven. I'm going to highlight rotate X, and we're at 0. I'm going to key that. Then I'm going to take the foot control, and I'm going to go to negative 10. I'm going to take the heel group, and I'm going to hold down J, And again, we'll go to say 60. I'm never going to use that. Actually, that's just way too well, you never know. When we're walking, my foot's out. Sure. Okay, key it. Let's check it out. Does that work? -10 to 10. Basically, with a set-driven key, I've just switched from two different controllers, or two different attributes are being controlled by one. Okay, and I get a nice foot roll. I could get more elaborate with this as well and do the ankle, and I can get the toe, and I get a really nice peel off of this so that the foot's just totally peeling off the ground. But I'm not gonna, I'm just gonna leave it there. If anyone wants to see me do that, I will do it in class. We got the foot control in there. What else do we want to do? We would like to maybe have it so that we can rotate on our heel. So, and with the heel swivel, the ball swivel, and the toe swivel. I don't know if I'm going to do the foot bank on this one. So let's just do those all at once. So I'm just going to grab this and go to modify, add attribute, and let's do toe underscore swivel. And this one here, -10, 10, 0. I'm going to hit add. Remember that when you hit OK, it adds it and it closes the window. If you just hit add, it adds it and it keeps the window open. So we just toe swivel, ball underscore swivel, and minimum -10, maximum 10, default 0, add, and heel swivel. Do anything funny? Oh, I put in underscore because I was smoking crack. Let's hit. Whoa, 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 what did that do? What's this thing up here? Let's hit backspace. -10. Okay, good. And I'll hit OK. Did I spell anything wrong? I hope not. Okay, we're done. And let's do the set-driven key again. So if I go here to toe swivel, actually let's just hit this button here so it loads up. This is the controller. I'm just going to deselect, and if I hit load driven, that empties it so that I get less confused. I'm going to load the driver. Okay, we're going to do toe swivel. So that's going to be the toe group, and the toe group I'm going to load the driven, and it's going to be for the swivels. I always use the y-axis. So I'll just key it, and then I'll take this and I'll say for the toe swivel negative, it's going to go inwards. So again, I'll kind of pick like a almost impossible angle here, and I'll just do something like hold down J, 90 degrees, key it. Take this, I'm going to take this toe swivel, -10, all the way up to 10, and I'll go in here and grab the toe group. -90, boop, done. And so we'll just check it out. Did that work? 10 to -10, so I can do this little toe swivel. I call it 0, done. Then we'll go and do the ball swivel, and that is going to be the ball swivel group. I'm going to load driven, put it on Y, key it, we're at the default value, and then if I take the control, take the ball swivel, go to negative, I'll do the same behavior again. Hold down J, there, key, take this, go from -10, it's working, go up to 10, take the ball swivel group, key it, test it, 10 to -10. I could go further if I wanted to, but I think that should be more than enough. Let's zero that out, totally done. And the heel, next one is in the heel group. In the heel group, we've already got an X key, set driven key, hit load driven. This one's going to be on the Y again, so it's on the Y axis, and we'll key that. And let's see, heel swivel. If I take this and I go negative, let's see, negative, I want this to go in this way, so toe will go in. Key it, go from 10, oops, oh, I went backwards, you fool. Let's go back over here to -10. I'll just write over top of it. So I just take this and I, let's see, I'm on the heel group. I'll hold down J and I'll, oh, you bastard. There we go, got it. Key it. I'll take this and I'll go from -10 to 0, and then it goes back again, and I'll just correct it. I'll just go in and grab the group. And if I hold down J, I'll go like this. And when I keyframe over it again, it'll just override it. So let's just test it out and see what it looks like. 10 to -10, great. There's one little problem in here. This controller, because it's parented to the controller here, we're not seeing it behave quite correctly. Let's see, I don't know if I want to show this. No, I'll save it. If anyone asks, I'll show you where I would actually put this. I just parented to the foot control so that if I do grab the foot control, it'll follow it around, but I sometimes will parent constraint it into the foot group stack over here for better control. But I think that's all I'm going to do on the foot. So I'm going to stop there. I'm going to do the exact same thing on the other side and make them identical